Well, let's get more now on the devastating cancer diagnosis for the Princess of Wales in the company of the Queen of US Royal Reporting, Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, our chats on a Saturday night are always fun. They're always delightful and they're always positive, but we're not able to be tonight. The most awful news regarding Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales. You've always loved this woman. You've got a particular soft spot for her. Your reaction when you heard the news and you listened to that video, watched that video yesterday?
Initially tears and then immediate anger. It feels, from a royal commentator standpoint, who has really never in her life had to respond to random people online on international television. It felt like the Princess of Wales was kind of forced to come out and give us this very private information before the deadline of Easter, which she had asked for, because there was so much vicious online speculation. And that really disappointed me because, I'm going to be honest, it felt like she had become a punchline in the United States. Look at the just absolute evil that Stephen Colbert vomited on his late night program. John Oliver, the same, vulgar, gross about his jokes about the Princess of Wales. Andy Cohen from Bravo. Kim Kardashian has yet to issue an apology over her "on my way to find Kate" joke. Thankfully, Blake Lively did issue an apology for her joke at the expense of the Princess of Wales. But I think that there's a lot of envy that comes from the United States because the royals, especially Catherine, is so perfect, seems so perfect. Her life seems perfect. She's beautiful. She lives in a castle. She's got a handsome prince husband, beautiful babies. So I think that they jumped on the bandwagon as quickly as they could when it came to some of these conspiracy theories. So my initial, aside from, upset and tears, I immediately became angry that we had allowed this to happen. This was abuse towards a woman that was going through something very serious and something very traumatic for her and her young family.
And how are the wider American public receiving this news? Because she is one of the most famous people in the world, one of the most famous women in America.
Absolutely. I mean, just to give you an idea of her popularity here in the States, the search term Kate Middleton is the #1 search term, followed by Donald Trump, then Joe Biden. And these two are in a race for the White House. According to CNBC, since January of 2024, the Princess of Wales has had over 230,000 articles written about her, compared to Joe Biden and Donald Trump combined at approximately 101,000 articles written about them. So she's triple the size of these two individuals that at one point or another were the most powerful men in the world. Over 13 billion views if you search Kate Middleton on TikTok. So she's a very significant figure, and she remains, despite all of this, and probably increased because of this, the most popular member of the royal family here in the United States.
Most definitely. You've been a royal watcher since you were a little girl. I think your first idol was Princess Diana. And the name of your very popular podcast, and indeed your website, is To Die For Daily, which is wordplay on Princess Diana. And I think that she's only been sort of succeeded in your affections by Princess Catherine. What is it about this young woman that wins your heart?
I mean, I think that she just radiates purity and goodness. I don't know what any other way to describe it. She seems, and I've had the pleasure of being around her, not only in the States, but over in your neck of the woods, just when she's at a royal engagement. She seems like a very kind individual. She stops and talks to everyone. She's very engaged when she communicates with them. But we've also had the pleasure of really growing up with her. We lost Princess Diana at 36 years old. We've known the Princess of Wales since she was a young girl at school at St. Andrews with Prince William. And we've seen her grow up from being that fun, spirit-free, or, just like absolute like free spirit on the slopes and in the water with Prince William, to the evolution of this very sophisticated, graceful mother and fashion icon. And it's been fun to see that evolution. You feel more connected to her because you've been along for the ride.
Indeed so. I was a vocal critic of the photograph that was ultimately pulled by 5 major news agencies. My focus was the palace's handling of that story. I don't think they've handled it well, because after that Mother's Day photo, there was the speculation. Do you think that the palace authorities have pause for thought in terms of how they've communicated this all along?
Well, knowing what I know now, I feel like it was the least of their concerns. I feel like they probably thought, to me, I think the most upsetting part about watching that video from the Princess of Wales, which was recorded on Wednesday at Windsor, and I'm sure that that's honestly what they were more focused on, how they were going to execute this. I think that what hurt me the most was there was a sense of fear. I mean, no matter what, she is stoic, she is brave, she's courageous, she's beautiful. But I sensed a little bit of fear in her voice throughout the process. And that's what made me the most emotional about it. So I do feel like the palace's objective was, how do we handle this really big, really scary news? How do we present it to the world? And so that they're still confident in the royal family and that they support this family going forward and give them the privacy that they need and that they're requesting.
Most definitely. Kinsey, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll speak in a happier context next week when you join us on Mark Dolan tonight.